Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of To a Woman's Heart, where we uplift, motivate, encourage, and empower women. Tonight is Wednesday Nuggets, and the topic for the nugget of the night is choose yourself. And so, as you already know, we always start off with the definition of the word we're discussing, and tonight's definition will be choose. So, choose is a verb. It means to pick out or select someone or something as being the best or most appropriate of two or more alternatives. Example, he chose a seat facing the door. Select, pick, pick out, opt for, plump for, go for, take, settle on, decide on, fix on, come down in favor of, vote for, single. Handpick, set, designate, determine, specify, appoint, name, nominate, adopt, espouse, pitch on, decide on a course of action, typically after rejecting alternatives. All right. So here is something I want you to think about. Do you think it's time for you to choose yourself? That is a question you have to ask yourself. How did you come to the conclusion it was time? If you haven't chosen yourself, why not? What is stopping you from choosing yourself? In life, we go through so many changes, not realizing each of those changes has the potential of taking from who we are as a person. We seem to give up our power to others without even realizing we are giving it up. We settle for things that in the beginning we would not normally settle for because we were focused on who we were and what we wanted. Love creeps in, and as time goes along, we begin to lose ourselves trying to meet someone else's need and disregard our own. Why is that? You should ask yourself. Why do we sacrifice who we are for someone or something? Sometimes you have to sit down and reflect on your life to make sure you stay on track with your goals and your dreams. We allow friends, family, co-workers, and significant others to divert us from who we are. And when we realize it, it is too late. We are gone. The struggle becomes real in fighting our way back to ourselves. But the question becomes, where do you start? We have children, and yes, being a mother is a full-time job, but you are still a human being who has needs, wants, desires, and dreams. So, do we lose who we are in our children, or do we find the balance needed to raise them and continue to being our best selves? Have you stopped to think and wonder how resentment kicks in? Well, this is how. We allow others to redirect who we are. We allow others to change the path we had set, and we sink right into someone else's lifestyle, all the while giving up on our own. Let me clarify so no one would take this the wrong way. I'm not saying you can't be a mother, wife, friend, or even a coworker. What I am saying is find the balance in being those multiple individuals. Don't lose sight in who you are, fulfilling someone else's needs and desires. You can be a wife, mother, and friend and still have dreams and goals. You just have to figure out a way that is manageable for you and those you love. We as women end up being in a relationship for years, catering to the needs of your mate and negating what it is you need. The more he demands you to do, the more we allow him to help us lose ourselves in his visions of what the relationship is. You have to understand that this is no longer a partnership, but sad to say, a dictatorship. Now he is telling you how to walk, how to talk, how to dress, how to wear your hair or do your makeup. When you can or cannot speak, these are all signs of losing yourself. You begin to shrink into the woodwork, not wanting anyone to see you when you don't see yourself. Our self esteem and confidence become affected by pulling the strings on what we can or can't do. Essentially, we have given our power away to someone else. We are no longer the driver of the car, we are just a passenger. When you don't own who you are and are assured of the woman that you are, you open the gates of manipulation. Your voice or opinions are no longer important, and they are not even taken in for consideration. You see women at business parties with their mates. They walk up to other couples and the mate do all the talking, and you stand there and just smile. Do you realize you have lost your voice and someone else is speaking for you? Stop blaming others for how you allow others to treat you. It's everyone else's fault except for the person in the mirror. Take ownership for the free ride pass you gave away to redirecting your path. We don't want to face what we see or know who we are or have become. In order for you to regain the person you should be, you need to acknowledge some things about yourself that may not be so pleasant. We all have given a little more of ourselves than we should. We all have stayed in relationships a little longer than we should. We all have tolerated some kind of bad behavior because we didn't want to be alone. We all have settled in some way to make someone else happy. However, when you realize the flaws and habits that need to change, you make a conscious effort to make that change a reality. This is a self journey, and no one can walk it but you. It's hard looking at ourselves in the mirror because the reflection of what we see can be unsettling. We start to ask the question, how did you get there? The answer may be you provided a free pass to change the course of your life in any way they saw fit. We have the desire to make someone else happy instead of making ourselves happy. There are questions that we have to ask ourselves in order for us to get to the truth of why we are the way we are. Do you want to change for the better? Do you want to love yourself? Then know this: you are the only one standing in your way of change and a better you. Ask God to be the GPS of your life so you can avoid making the same mistakes and repeating the same patterns. Ask God to please steer your life in the right direction so you can find the person you lost. Once you find her, don't let her go. We were born as individuals, and as an individual, you should always be. You are worth more than allowing someone to take from you and tell you what they will deposit for your best interest and what you can keep. When they first met you in whatever relationship you were in, you were happy, outgoing, and very social. But as time went by, you became a whole new person. It seemed as though life was no longer worth living for you. Someone had punched all the air out of you and deflated you like a balloon. There is nothing wrong with keeping your independence. You just have to find the balance that will work in your relationships. It takes nothing away from you to tell someone, no, I don't agree with that, and I will not do that. Nothing. Your voice is just as it is, your voice. Let no one silence your voice. All relationships should be built on communication, open and honest conversation. Remove the welcome to walk all over me doormat from in front of you and get you, I am just as important as you are, Matt, and you will respect me and my voice. Shake it off. Get back to yourself. It's time to choose you. If you love you first, appreciate who you are, and see the beauty that lies within you, then you are on your way to getting yourself back. You can't live in denial and listen to someone else tell you, girl, there is nothing wrong with you. If you don't feel right, and you are always depressed or stressed, not wanting to do anything or be around anyone, you may want to look into it and see if you have lost yourself. See if you have sunk into a funk that you can't release. At times, as I've said, we are like sponges. We absorb what our relationships feed us. It's like we don't have a block button or some kind of alert within us that will say to us, not good, danger, steps to losing yourself. Relationships have left many broken and the thoughts of not being able to recover from the hurt and pain. Realize some things need to come to an end, especially when they are not healthy for you and they withdraw from who you are instead of depositing and helping you be better. I think we should have a list of things that is not acceptable to who we are and stick with it. You need to really get to know yourself and stay true to the person you look in the mirror and see every morning. Some actions are totally unacceptable, and you need to realize that. Choose yourself when it comes down to being respected. Choose yourself when it comes down to being treated like a queen. Choose yourself when it comes down to being cared for. Choose yourself in liking and loving yourself first. Choose yourself when it comes down to being abused verbally or physically. Choose yourself when it comes down to the security of your children. Choose yourself when it comes down to demeaning who you are as a person. We need to choose ourselves because in choosing yourself, you can have a better relationship, be it with friend, family, or in a relationship. Don't allow anyone to bait you into being something that you are not. When you feel a shift starting, then that is the time to have the conversation and get an understanding so you can have a healthy relationship. If the individual does not seem to want you to be who you are or even acknowledge that you have a mind of your own, that is the time to get up and run. Don't ignore the signs and never settle for losing yourself in the long run to appease someone else. Ask yourself the question, if what they are doing to you, would they allow you to do it to them? If the answer is no, then you should stand firm and never give anyone the opportunity to take from you and push you to become someone you don't recognize in the mirror. In all things, remember to be respectful and honor the woman that you are. If they were piqued to be in a relationship with you, then there was something they seen within you that drew them to you. If you are going to change, change for a better you. Change for growth, but don't change for someone else to make them happy when it makes you miserable. Loving ourselves means loving all that you are. Men like to redress women to make them into something they fantasize about. The woman he thinks you should be. Is that the woman you were meant to be? Is the question you should ask. Then you should think about what woman has he seen that has piqued his interest to try and make you an imitation of who she is. Stand firm in your strength of staying true to who you are. God made you special, a unique design that cannot be duplicated. You may have you may you have been given special qualities and skill set that no one else will have because they were made just for you. So if God thinks you are special, why don't you think you are special? Why do we allow others to change who we are? You can park the car in the same spot every day, but I guarantee you, you will not park the same way each time. We evolve as we go through life. Learn, live, and laugh. Be who you are without apologizing. Never ever lose yourself. Always, no matter what, choose yourself. Remember, no one is more important than you. No one. You are a queen and should be treated as such all the time. Stand in the mirror right now and tell yourself, I choose me from this day forward and always. until the end of time. You deserve the best of what life has to offer. You are the special flower that has her own way of blooming. Walk, talk, and sit in it. If you haven't already, start today and choose yourself. This is your Wednesday Nuggets, gems that will cause you to think and become our better, best selves. So, ladies, if you have not started, today is a good day to start to choose yourself. You can't be good for anybody. You can't be in a healthy place for anybody until you are healthy and whole for yourself. Love yourself first. Then everything else will be okay. And if people can't accept you for who you are, oh well. But don't change because somebody don't like something about you. There's always something within each one of us that somebody don't like. And it's okay. That's why we're individuals. No two individuals are the same. We don't think the same. We don't walk the same. We don't talk the same. We don't respond the same. We don't take in information the same. That's why we're individuals. And it's okay to choose yourself. It's not being selfish when you think of yourself. Because when you're healthy and whole, you're great for everybody else. But when you're not healthy and whole, you're not good for nobody else, not even yourself. So take this time, ladies, if you have not, do the evaluation, stand in the mirror and ask yourself the question, do I choose myself or have I given myself away to somebody else to direct what I should or should not do? This journey is all about you. It's not about anybody else. So today, again, as I said, choose yourself. Take these gems wherever you go. Share them with other ladies. You never know how they may help, how they may speak to somebody. We're working on becoming our better, best selves. That's the goal. That's the purpose. As we evolve, as we get older, we grow. We don't do things the same way. We don't respond the same way. We want to be better. And that's the way we're going to be. All right. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media outlets. That is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr. And don't forget to go to the YouTube channel and subscribe and check out the website. All right. Take care.